please come into our Sukkah here at the American Ambassador's Residence. I'm here with my wife, Julie, and our daughters. And it's our favorite holiday to welcome guests to our home, our temporary home here in the Sukkah.
We love it. It's our favorite holiday. It's such a joyous time to be here in Israel. It was joyous when we lived in the States, and it's even more special to be here when we are surrounded by people who are also building their Sukkot and celebrating together.
A lot of it is about hospitality, is about opening your home and opening your Sukkah like Avraham Avinu opened his tent to all visitors. And so you bring in your guests, your ushpizin, your ushpizot, to come and be with you in your Sukkah. So with our daughters, we've done a lot of decorating here to make it festive.
I made the paper chain. It goes all around the Sukkah.
Whoa, where does it end?
It ends down there. I helped decide the decorations for and where they go with my friend. And it was a lot of fun because we got to decide and design like how it's going to look like.
And of course our lulav and etlog. We have loved to have a temani etlog here with our regular size etlog.
So wait, this is our revelation today. Our ambassador is Yemenite?
Yes.
Our etlog is temani.
The etrog is Yemenite. So no diplomatic meaning to that.
No.
Ambassador Dan Shapiro, USA Ambassador to Israel. Shalom and Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
So first of all, of course, thank you for your hospitality, having us here in your sukkah. I understand that in a few minutes, an important and significant event right here in the sukkah and the garden.
Yes, well, in the spirit of hospitality that is so central to Chag Sukkot, we've decided this year to invite into our sukkah alumni of many different exchange programs that the United States Embassy runs here in Israel. We have hundreds of Israelis all over the country every year, from every community, from every background, who participate in exchange programs in education, in professional exchanges, in learning about how the United States political system or medical system or legal system works. And so many of them have participated with us. We consider them like our ushpizin. We want to invite them back to celebrate what we've done together and have them here in our sukkah.
One of the issues this week was, of course, the B'Tselem organization, their participation in an event at the UN, the United Nations. And in Israel, really, it was from left and right. We heard lots of criticism about people going ahead and talking against Israel, outside of Israel, and saying lies. That's, of course, a question of facts or not. But we did see that America came out and said, wait a second, guys, freedom of speech.
Well, we feel strongly that's true in all aspects of our politics, and we encourage it everywhere in the world, that there be a free flow of ideas. Sometimes in our system we say it's most important to protect the ability to give speech to unpopular ideas, precisely because they're unpopular. So we think that's an important principle. In this case, B'Tselem and other organizations who follow the issues that were being discussed, including the issue of settlements, which of course we have concerns about, were able to share their perspective, and we think there's value in hearing those perspectives and other perspectives. And so for that reason, we put it in the context of a free flow of ideas.
Did you vote yet?
Of course.
So we're not going to ask, of course, who you voted. We're not going to talk about the both sides, but something very interesting. It happens a lot, but this time we're seeing it. We're hearing a lot about it. Lots of talk about the relations with Israel. Lots of talk about Israel, America, Jerusalem, Washington. What does that teach you? First of all, of course, that everyone has to show that they're good friends with Israel.
Well, it teaches me that our countries are very close allies and very closely connected beyond politics, in our societies and in our scientific communities and between our militaries and our security forces. And so much so that what happens in the other country is of interest, and we care about what happens. In many ways, it's not unique to Israel, of course. There are many countries in the United States in which people are watching, many countries around the world in which people are watching the elections in the United States very closely and feel they have a stake in them. That's because of the U.S. leadership role in the world, and so obviously we welcome all people to take notice of what's happening in our elections, although frankly I think we're all going to be relieved when these elections are over.
Now, in terms of the tension, the so-called tension, or there is tension, we've heard a lot of times you saying that things haven't been better in Jerusalem and Washington. Is that good?
Our relationship is really as close as it's ever been in terms of the security partnership. We've just signed a new memorandum of understanding for $38 billion of security assistance for the next 10 years. That will allow Israel to acquire the F-35 fighter aircraft, to upgrade all of the missile defense programs that have been so successful and saved so many lives, and increase the joint training and intelligence collection and cooperation we do together. So in that sense, we're as close as we've ever been. Our economic partnership is blossoming and in many ways just growing in the high-tech sector and in other sectors into new fields. The connections that we talked about between our two democratic societies are very deep and very robust, between families, between educational institutions, between professional societies. And it doesn't mean we never have disagreements, we do, but the core commitment to Israel's security, to our core shared democratic values remains very, very strong.
So last question, we're here in Herzliya, not far away. Tel Aviv is where the embassy sits, and UNESCO came out with a resolution that Jerusalem and the Jewish people have no connection, which means basically Jerusalem and the Jewish state have no connection, no historical connection. When are we going to see the U.S. Embassy finally in Jerusalem?
Well, with respect to the UNESCO resolution, we opposed that resolution. We felt it was a very politicized resolution, and it's not an appropriate kind of resolution or use of an organization like UNESCO, and denying the Jewish people's connections to Jerusalem is simply denying facts, and there's nothing gained by doing that. Our embassy has been in Tel Aviv since the establishment of the state. That's true of almost every other country's embassy in the world. And every president that has looked at this question has felt that Jerusalem is a final status issue. The parties have decided it's something that needs to be worked out in direct negotiations as part of attempts to achieve a final status agreement between Israelis and Palestinians. And so this is not the moment to make a move of our embassy.
Okay, Ambassador Dan Shapiro, thank you very much. And again, Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach to everybody.